Hello. So, I am redoing my modding tutorials. Modding tutorial. Just, for this first one, I'm going to show you how to make basic types and assign textures to them and get the mod started. So, pretty basic. So, the first thing that we're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Steam, right click on Colony Survival, press Properties, Local Files tab, and browse local files. They'll bring you to here. I'm going to head over to Game Data, Mods, and then once you're in here, I'm going to make a new folder and call it a name that, like, as you can see, like, there's me, there's Pandaros, or however you say his name, make settlers, and yeah. So we're gonna I've used this new one just for the sake of the tutorial. Called it Bob, I couldn't think of anything else. I then made a new mod called new mod, which is in this folder. Then you're gonna want to make this mod info.json. You can just use the one I will provide and just change the stuff inside. I'll leave a whole link to this Bob folder in the description. But anyway, so you're gonna want to open up this, and you're going to want to change the name, which is the underlying name of your thing, of your mod. So the way I do it, and a lot of the other mod developers do it, is name.mod name, and also try and avoid spaces in here. Then your version name, just keep it basic. I use a 3 number 1, and just for this first version I've done 0.1.0. Then your name pretty, that's the name it will have in the server selection. Just should make it something pretty with capitals and spaces. You can do it there. Enabled, pretty self-explanatory. Marks game modded, that actually means if it shows up in the server thing. So if you're making something you don't really care for it to show up, you can not just delete this line entirely, as well as the name pretty line. Compatible versions, pretty self-explanatory. Just leave that. The JSON files, this is where you can make the other files that load in textures and types and other things like that. So with this first one here, loads in textures into the game. And this here is the file path I use for it. You can change it. If you know how to do that, go for it. If not, leave it standard, it works. And this here will add more types, it's the same sort of thing. Okay, so now if we go back into here, you can see I use game data, then we go to types, and this types here. So I've got 2 types here. We've got new block and new block 2. New block is an actual block. So we've got the name. I use it like this. I've got Bob as the name, types, the name. So it's a type, name. Categories, you can assign more. You do that by going comma and typing something and finish it off. Pretty self-explanatory. Yep. And also, what categories actually do, they order it, that's how it's ordered in the stockpile, as well as allows you to loot it in using the loot all command. Very useful for if you want to test it out. I've then got icon here. Icon, that's the file path I use for it. It works. You can touch it if you want to. You don't really need it though. Max stack size, pretty clear. Side all. This is the texture that we use on all sides. What you can also do after that is you can go, for example, side Y plus, which is the Y plus side, aka the top side, and we can go. I'll use as an example. Top, for example, and now if we load that in, it will have a different texture on top. I will cover that in more detail in the next video. Anyway, we'll leave that there for now. We've then got a second one, probably shouldn't really call new block, but I've called it that. Categories again. Now, only thing different with this here is an actual block that'll be placed. This here is an item. You will say. So maybe this might be what it should be called. New item. I've used this the same icon because I'm too lazy to make another one, even though it's a really crappy icon. Same. You can delete this line and it will default to, I think, 50, or you can have it there. But for this is placeable. That means it will not be placed as a block in the world. It defaults to true, so in this case you actually do not need it. So it is here to actually make it not the default. And because it is not a block, it does not need these texture lines. So that's the thing. We will then move over to the textures. So I put the textures in here. Icons are in textures for whatever reason. You can see my amazing icon. You can ignore all these for now. I will probably go into these at some other stage, but yeah, albedo though is your standard texture. But anyway, we'll go into here. Leave all that unless you know what you're doing. This here is the texture, as you can see. It's the same texture name. That's important. Then we've got albedo, which is the standard, I guess you could say, and it's just called new block because that is the actual name of the file, new block. And another thing to know, textures have to be 256 by 256. Icons can be whatever you really want. 64 by 64 is the standard, which I would recommend you use because it just works. Oh no, what have I done? Eek. Oh no. What am I doing? Alright. Apart from that, that is that. Now, I closed Steam, I think. No, I didn't. I don't know. So, next thing what I want to do, oh, sorry about that, is you want to go back into here, or at the Colony Survival, open up Colony Server. You can use single player. I'm just doing that. Let's make a new world. Mod tutorial testing. Spelling's amazing there. You can when you start making your mod, I would recommend doing a new world with no other mods installed. That way you can isolate problems and stuff. It might be mod compatibility issue for whatever reason or something. You can cross that at a bridge when you get to it. But do make a new world. Use that for any change because the game can detect if new types being added mid game. It doesn't need a brand new world every time. But anyway, we'll then press start server and it will load in like that. We will then head back to Steam, start up the game, wait for it to load in. We'll just hit connect to local because that's how it's set up, and we will then load in. Now we're going to go cheats on and do this once. Then you go loot all one, scroll all the way down, and we'll find our new types. We've got bob.newBlock, which we can place, and as you can see, it has the amazing texture I made. Bob.types.newItem is not placeable because it's an item, and I hope that sums it up pretty quickly. Yeah, I will be making a second video straight after this. I'm just splitting it up so it's not one big chunk of information in one video that you have to try and search through to find the bit you want. But yeah, have fun.